Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, and Namaskar, and welcome to the Indian Girl Side. In today's episode, we talk about some Pew research that was done on the Asian immigration population within the US. The second topic of discussion is the murder of the activist called Gauri Lankesh. And then the third item that as part of this news is and part of this episode is the whole blue whale issue that I've noticed. I keep reading more and more articles about how it's impacting the teens in India and increasing the suicide rates. So let's move on to the first article that came out of the Pew Research. According to some research done by the Pew Research Center, which is one of the research tanks in the United States, the Asian population grew 72% between 2000 and 2015, which is, just think of it, as the fastest growth rate of any major racial or ethnic group. Now, people may think about as the Hispanics as one of the populations where you have the largest growth rate, but that is not the case according to the study. They're looking at Asian groups such as Bhutanese, Nepalese, Burmese, Laotians, Japanese, Indians, Chinese. Looking at the data, they basically from 1900 to 2015, just a view of it, it's a pretty significant jump in the immigration rate. They said that no single country of origin group dominates the US Asian population, but the largest groups are of Chinese, Asian, and Filipino origin. I know from an Indian immigration standpoint, a lot of the immigration that has been coming through over the past many years, and actually mostly recent years, has been due to IT jobs, due to US exporting jobs to India to save on labor. The fast population growth suggests that they will eventually be the nation's largest immigrant group. I mean, think about it. You would think that the people from the Hispanics or the Europeans would be the largest immigrant group, but no, that's not the case. You have a huge chunk of Asian folks and immigrants basically dominating that growth rate. The U.S. Asian population, according to the study, overall does well on measures of economic well-being compared with the U.S. population as a whole, but this varies widely among Asian subgroups. So it depends upon the subgroups, and I would recommend just kind of visiting the research. It's actually pewresearch.org. The other fact is U.S. Asians have a wide range of income levels, and I'm looking at this chart that they have displayed, and actually it's a very good visual on where incomes lie. And amongst the categories of Asians, you have Indians that actually on an average earn $100,000. The lower on the totem pole are the Burmese that earn anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000. Nepalese from 40 to 50,000, and you have different categories like Chinese earn 70,000. I'm just kind of curious to see why Indians earn so much. Is it because of the fact that there's a lot of them are in professions that are in demand, or if there's any other underlying factors that actually cause the Indians to be on a higher income scale? The other thing that really caught on and that I thought was surprising from the study is that a lot of Asians do not own homes as much as Americans do. That is interesting, considering the fact that Asians is especially I can speak Indians according to the study is that they earn the highest, meaning 100,000 and above. I'd be curious to kind of understand from that study. Where do Indians lie as far as home ownership is concerned? If it's just are they part of that mix where they don't believe in owning homes? So that is an interesting metric. I would recommend that you visit their site just to kind of get an understanding of the numbers and the data and about the study. So it's a very interesting fact. The second news article that came out and has been brewing over the last couple of weeks is the murder of Gauri Lankesh. I personally have not been following her, and I actually don't do a good job following, the journalists and their articles. But she was known for her left-leaning outlook and her views on Hindutva politics, and it has hit the Indian community and the Indians in India, basically because people and other countries are calling this a human rights issues. There's been several incidents in the past immediate future that has caused an alarm as far as these deaths are concerned. So I think this is an issue that I don't think will just die away simply because they're considering this as a human rights issue and an issue related to religious freedom report. So this is just an issue that will keep growing, and other countries such as the U.S. Are condemning her death. The last topic that I'd like to cover is this whole blue whale issue within India. I'm looking at a couple of news articles that I see here. There's one of them that says teen found hanging, can blame blue whale. There's been things around blue whale challenge eyes 10% urban Indian kids who use internet. I did read one article where this kid, apparently this teenager, I believe it was a sixth grader. I mean, the kid's young. I mean, 12-year-old kids, kept this diary of these challenges of the blue whale challenge and how he encouraged his friends to participate in the blue whale challenge. It is alarming simply because, who would think that a simple phone or computer or the internet would actually would be a leading cause of so many deaths in India. According to the wiki going there, it was a challenge that was developed by a Russian individual who had been kicked out of school and kind of developed it at the aftermath of him being kicked out of school. And I did some research as to what is the challenge, right? So I believe there's 50 challenges at the end of which people or kids are encouraged to commit suicide. That is alarming. I mean, there's no controls as far as what kids are doing nowadays. I remember way back when I was in school, we had a simple pen and paper where we would, we never had the internet access. This is a challenge, I can only imagine, for parents as to how much control can they put on their kids and how can they prevent such deaths. It's definitely alarming, and it's something which, from what I understand, the government is taking seriously. As far as this issue has gone to court, and I guess the question is, how do you prevent deaths in this day and age where kids have access to all this information, and it's causing people to take their lives unnecessarily. Very, very scary. So that is it from me from the Indian Girl State side, and I hope you do subscribe and listen to this channel. And up until next week or the week after, I hope to see you guys then. Thank you.